Good evening everybody and welcome back to TTTV. This is TTL F2 season number 4, round number 6, which takes us to the German race here at the Hockenheimring. My name is Kieran McGinley and joining me in the commentary box as always in F2 is James Head. James, how are you tonight?
I'm very well, thank you, Kieran. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad. Obviously, recovering from last time out. Obviously, if you missed that one, go back and watch it. It was a great race, James. Unfortunately, I wasn't there for it. However, I hear you did a pretty good job on your own.
Well, why would I not do a good job on my own? Goodness me. Yeah, but as Kieran wasn't here last week, I, of course, took the reins for a week. I'm now back in the co-commentary position and looking forward to commentating on the action, as is Kieran, once again this evening in Germany.
Yeah, and looking at the practice results, James, I don't know if you've got them up. All the times we had 8 turnout for the practice session, the open practice session. That runs for, I believe it's a 45-minute session, so it allows the drivers to try different setups, try different tyres and everything like that. And we saw all of the drivers set their fastest lap time on the hardest possible tyre, the medium tyres. That being said, Siege led the way by just under 0.8 of a second to the next car. So that's a huge gap, especially when we're talking about F2.
Yeah, huge gap indeed. And I mean, 0.8 to Mays in the practice session. Really big gap, and that is going to be something that the others have got to worry about. Siege obviously showing he's got a lot of pace. Interesting to see though if they go on the soft compound of tyre instead of the medium compound of tyre, and see how that pans out June tonight.
Yes, of course, and to really give you an idea of how this championship is setting up, James, let's just sort of run through these standings at the moment. So as it stands, it is oh, I had the F1 standings up for a minute there, but it is Siege on top, 104 points. White is in second with 84. Then Navy and Crazy Legs joint third on 35 points. Sean in fifth on 33. Mays in sixth on 32. Honey in seventh on 25. Maximus in eighth on 24. Casper in ninth on 23. Graham in 10th on 18 points. It's Jeffrey in 11th on 14 points, Laronix in 12th with 13 points, Vishy in 13th with 12 points, Yuzi in 14th with 11 points, Alan Kay in 15th on 7 points, and George Roberts 16th with 1 point to his name. And if we look at the team standings, Carlin lead the way on 105 points, it's Campos Racing in second on 80 points, Charu in third with 71, Prima in 4th with 53, MP Motorsport in 5th on 49 points, Dams and Arden both tied in 6th place on 39 points, ART at 8th on 35, Trident in 9th with 27 points, and Russian Time no points, nil point for the Russian team as we head towards round 6. And for the Russian team there, they've got to be a little bit concerned that they haven't scored any points as of yet.
Yeah, they're going to have to be concerned. I'm not sure if anybody is in the Russian time here tonight of the guys we've got. We've got Liam actually in the Russian time. He'll be hoping to score points for them tonight. Whether he can gain that gap to Trident, who remains to be seen. But looking back at the driver standings actually, Siege and White clearly best out of everyone within TTL F2 so far. 20 points gap separating the top two. It's all looking a bit condensed for that best of the rest battle at the minute. 3rd down to 10th, separated by 17 points. See how that's going to pan out. And I'll just say, watch out for Lyronix, because his debut last week was brilliant. Watch out for him tonight. I think he's got what it takes to possibly win this.
Yeah, and well, James, let's talk more about the circuit, of course, here in the Hockenheimring. First German Grand Prix was back in 1970, as Andy was talking about last week when we came to the German Grand Prix here in F1. Obviously, it started off at Avus, which was 2 long straights and 2 hairpins, pretty much. It's developed a lot since then, switching between the Nordschleife, for example, the Hockenheimring and the Nürburgring itself as well. But we now have it here in the Hockenheimring. 67 laps was the 100% in Formula 1, but of course for the feature race it's covering around about 170 kilometres, my apologies. So it's longer than a 50% race in Formula 1, shorter than a 100% race in F1, so it's a bit it's a bit hot and cold as to what the laps are going to be, but I reckon if it's around about 38 laps for what would it be? Sorry, 35 laps, round about that for the German Grand Prix. I'm going to say it's going to be around about 36, 37 laps here in F2, but we shall see when it comes up, and we'll see how many laps we've got ahead of us, James. But as always, one-shot qualifying and 100% feature race distance.
Yeah, I think coming on, I've just been working that in my head. I think it might be anywhere between 36 and 40 laps that we're going to be getting. I'm going to put a bet on it and say we're going to have 38 or 39.
Oh, there you go then. James bets 38, 39. I said 37. So let's see. That's surely unfair because you got 2 guesses. I only get the 1. So you have to decide between the 2.
39.
39.
39.
All right, go with that. Go with that. How about you, chat? Don't look it up. Don't look it up. Do not look it up. Laronic says he's slow. Watch out for Frisch in the chat, as he is quote unquote rapid from Laronics, and he is racing in the Trident car. Obviously they're 9th place in the team standings, and Trident need that boost of points on their side.
Yeah, they do. Only having 27 points. Their name, of course, Art, just ahead of them, 8 points difference. Afri, I think it's his first race in F2. I might be completely wrong there, but I haven't seen him. He wasn't there last week. I think this is his debut race, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, we normally know how debut races go down in TTL, that's for sure. Debut races normally go down a treat. So we'll see how it all turns out here tonight in these F2 cars. Of course, these engines sound pretty good. Obviously, no hybrid system, so it's just the engines themselves. And I can't wait to see who will be able to grab that pole position. Can anybody stop Siege at this moment in time?
Have to find out and see, because of course White is only 20 points off him in the championship standings at this stage. I think he's got a great chance to probably show what he is worth. Can he beat Siege? That's a whole different other question.
Well, we are moments away then from this one-shot qualifying, of course. Only one chance to stick it on pole position, and we'll be able to see who has the advantage of that front row slot as we head towards this one-shot qualifying session. It's going to be pretty hard to dethrone Siege, but I think White has turned out to be quite the man to watch in qualifying, so we'll have to keep one eye on him.
Yeah, certainly. 20 points between him and Siege. I've got an ice cube in my mouth, so I'm trying to talk while having an ice cube in my mouth. We are about to go green. 16 drivers, by the way, attending, and I'm on board with Navy. I'm sure you're on board with them.
I am as well, as we head now towards turn 1, flying the car through. This is going to be a real stickler for track limits as we make our way now up towards turn 2, braking just after the 100-metre board, steering the car in, of course, with that lessened downforce. Cars are going to struggle to find the grip through there. Now on towards the DRS zone here, the second one on the track, and now flying through Parabolica. It's full throttle through here and flat out as we make our way now down towards the hairpin at turn number 6. Now where's the braking point? Just after the 150-metre board, Navy, as we steer the car, and you can see they're down to first gear to get the car steered in and then accelerating away. Watching that wheel spin on the exit as we head towards this right-hander, this kick of turn 7, and now on towards turns 8, 9, 10 and 11. It's labelled as 4 corners, but the steering wheel only turns 3 times throughout this section. Here's the second time, and there's the third time through that long right-hander of 10 and 11. On our way now towards sector 3 and towards turn 12 is a fast right-hander here. Take it as fast as you dare as we head now up towards Sachs Curve and turn 13. The track helps its you by dipping towards the apex there. You can carry a little bit more speed through there, heading through this fast chicane of 14 and 15, and then towards the Sud Curve of 16 and 17, keeping the car nice and tidy and trying to find the apex of both corners as Navy now crosses the line. And what will he get? It'll be third place, but it is Siege who is on pole position here for the German Grand Prix. And that is a great lap from Siege there, but not a bad lap from Navy, who finds himself in third place.
Yeah, third place and being split by the debutant Afri, who was only less than a 10th off, and there you go.
Well then, Siege is on pole position then. It is Frisch in second, Navy third, Crazy Legs in fourth, with Short in fifth. Lyronics qualifying on the medium tyres. That's the tyres he'll start on then. Hustwick in seventh, Mays in eighth, White also on the medium tyres. That's what the tyres he'll start on then. Alan Kay in 10th, Graham in 11th, Jeffrey in 12th. George tried that lap on the medium tyres. He finished up 13th, although not a bad lap, all things considered. Casper, Maximus and Bishi all got their laps disqualified. and deleted, so they will be starting 14th, 15th and 16th respectively as we head now towards the feature race here in TTL F2.
It is going to be very interesting to see how Lyronix and White can get on those medium compound of tyres. Pretty much everyone else in that top 10 going for a set of super soft compound of tyres. Watch out for them in the first half of this race especially.
Yeah, and with the clouds sort of forming over, of course you'll get a little bit less track temperature, a little bit wary on how those tyres are going to perform during this race. However, all things considered, you've got two drivers in the top 10 on those medium tyres, and they should be the drivers to watch throughout this. Siege, of course, is starting on the super soft tyres, so he'll be able to get the start. It's what he can do during the race as well. Now, the rules are in F2 that you have to use at least two sets of dry tyres, two different compounds. So this opens up the opportunity for the two drivers starting on the medium tyres to then go for maybe the soft tyres towards the end of this race. But there is Siege then, who will lead the way down towards turn 1, and turn 1, of course, that fast right-hander, the first real challenge that the drivers come across in the German race. It's going to be pretty tricky for them, but they've got to get used to not cutting that corner, because that could add up. Those penalties will add up towards the end of the race, and it has happened in the past. It might cost them a podium.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it has cost them a podium. If that back end steps out of turn 1, you've got no chance really of saving that car. So you need to be careful. Feathering the throttle has got to be key through turn 1. Just to pick up on the laps, by the way, we're right in the middle of our prediction. 38 laps.
It split us. There you go. So no one wins the bet. Absolutely. Well, yeah, Lyronix is going to be one to watch in the Arden car on those medium tyres. He's starting in 6th place, so looking to maybe go for those soft tyres towards the end of this race, as well as that White as well in 9th place in the Charoux car. Will be looking to try that alternate strategy to see if he can boost his way up the table. The only problem is right now is that his title rival Siege is leading by 20 points. And that's not going to be a good sign for White at the moment. But he's trying something different, and maybe different is better. Who knows?
Yeah, different could be better. White has got a big problem ahead of him. Liam Hustwick, better known as Tractor Man, May's ahead of him as well. Should get them probably around midway through this race, I would imagine, before he decides to come into the pits. Lyronic's the same as well. He tries to jump Crazy Legs and Sean early on. Could see him possibly getting a podium and even maybe challenging for the win as everyone now starts to line up back onto the grid.
Absolutely, and Siege was in quite the hurry to get back to the grid and get this race started here in TTL F2. The feature race is moments away. Then we have 38 laps here in Germany at the Hockenheim Ring. Who will come out on top with White in 2nd place in the championship, 9th place on the grid on those medium tyres. Watch out for Jeffrey and Casper, who are also trying to do the same as we now head towards those 5 red lights here in Germany. Round 6 is underway, and what are the starts like? It looks like it is a good start from Siege as well. It's Crazy Legs. Navy doesn't get a great start off the line as we make our way now towards turn 1. Look at Frisch up the inside, and he takes the lead so far up towards turn 2 now. We've got yellow flags behind. There is an incident behind us. Bishy involved at turn 1. But Siege here has lost out on the start as Frisch then takes the lead. There is Hustwick now around the inside, and that is Alan Kay around at turn 3 there. And he is just spun out. I'm not sure if there was contact there, but look at this. Navy and Hustwick are now side by side as we make our way through the Parabolica and now down towards turn 6 there. Frisch in the lead then, defending the inside line against Siege. Look at this. Hustwick and Navy side by side now as we head towards the hairpin. And that's Navy getting the advantage there and getting the most out of those tyres. Look out behind as well, because Mays there is defending White, who's trying to make his charge through the field on those medium tyres. He's currently in 8th place as we make our way now towards turn 8. Casper, meanwhile, up in 9th place. A little bit of a lock up from him. He's lost out. Oh, loses the back end as well. Just loses out to Lyronix there. But considering where he started there for Casper, he's now up to 10th place, so it's a good start from him. George then moves ahead of Alan Kay. Looks like the car is in good nick, so he should be all right for now. Bishy is in 15th. Jeffrey has lost the back end somewhere in between turns 8 and 11. As Graham and Maximus now battling through the Sachs curve. Graham holding on to 11th place right now as we make our way now through 14 and 50 on board there. Meanwhile, Sean is trying to chase down Crazy Legs then up towards turn 1. But after the first lap, it is Frisch who leads from Siege only by 0.3 of a second. Crazy Legs runs wide at turn 1, but Sean isn't quite there to take an advantage. Up towards turn 2 we go. But DRS will be activated on the next lap, not this lap, so drivers will have to hold on. But Mays here might have a good run on Hustwick here as we make our way through turn 4 and on towards the Parabolica. Look out ahead as well as Sean has a good run on Crazy Legs down towards turn 6. He's in the slipstream looking for a move now. Will he try and move down the inside as we head towards that hairpin here? He will try it. Up the inside Sean goes. He'll have the inside line, but that could be Crazy Legs with the better run out of the hairpin. You can see there Sean getting a little bit sideways on exit, but look at Navy here who's on the inside of both of them, and look at that, Navy just sneaks through and unsuspecting Crazy Legs. He's now down to 5th place in a matter of corners.
Yeah, that is what you call an opportunistic move from Navy. In the background, we've got White and Ironic side by side through turn 10 to 11. Oh my god, there's any contact! Oh, brilliant racing between both of them, goodness me! Ironic's around the outside, is he? No, surely not. Surely not, he's on the inside line. Oh, it's still side by side. I can't really... This is brilliant racing. It really is. Ironic's has got him.
Yeah, Lyronix holds on through the Sachs curves and makes the move stick. He's now up to 8th place with White now dropping back down to 9th place, which is not the start he wanted to try and mount that championship challenge, but it's not the start Siege wanted either. DRS is enabled, and look at Navy here, who really attacked turn 1 there. Sean having to go defensive up towards turn 2. Navy is going to try this move around the outside. Of course, he will have the DRS advantage on Sean then as we make our way now through 3 and turn 4. Look at Navy now, right on the back of that car then. DRS is wide open as they're now going to run side by side now through Parabolica. Let's see what Sean can do in the car here down towards turn 6, but there's not a lot he can do, and the MP Motorsport car of Navy finds a way through, but Sean is not done there. He goes down the inside and absolutely retakes the position. Sean's not having anything in that Campos car. He wants that podium position. He wanted it more than Navy, it looked like, in that corner, and just simply took it from him.
Yeah, brilliant move by Sean. Opportunistic again. Navy did run wide at the hairpin. He's just lost a little bit of time as well to Sean. And Crazy Legs trying to attack him as well. A little bit of a train possibly forming up as well. Liam Hustwick and Mays starting to get involved.
Yeah, absolutely. But as it stands then, the biggest winner is Maximus, down in 10th place at the moment. He's up 5 places in the ART car, which is exactly what they needed to get some more points on the board. Casper, honourable mention, 3 places up from where he started. Remember, he's on the medium tyres at the moment. Biggest losers so far, 2 of the biggest losers. Alan Kay, who had a little bit of a spin early on there, he's down 4 places. Same thing with Jeffrey, he's running in 16th, down 4 places from where he originally started. But Alfred Frisch here, coming in towards turn 3, 4 now, is leading this one up 1 position. Just simply got the better start than Siege and took full advantage through turn 1. It was a great move for the leader of the race. He now leads the German race.
Yep, Siege right all the back from me. He's closing up down the straight. Not going to be close enough though down into the hairpin. He's actually going to run wide. No, sticks it to the apex quite nicely. Navy going around the outside of Crazy Legs, very late on the brakes and behind. Is he going to try and get the move done on the exit of the hairpin? No, lose the back end. Thought he was going to get it done there, but not quite. Navy remains in 4th.
Yeah, Navy just couldn't quite take advantage. That traction let him down there when he needed it the most. But further behind, we have got White and Lyronix in close quarter battles right now. And Lyronix here looking to try and get the car through turn 10 and 11 now. Both of these cars are on the medium tyres, the hardest compound here in this race as we now fly through turn 12. Another battle to watch, of course, is the battle between Sean and Navy as they head through Sachs Curve, now in towards the chicane of 14 and 15. This sector here, sector 3, is not really an overtaking opportunity sector. It's more to try and follow the car behind and to try and see if they make a mistake. You can see there 2 different lines by Sean and Navy. Navy looking to try and find the apex, and Sean looking to try and carry the speed through. It looked like Sean's line through the final corner looked a lot better than Navy. He was able to stay ahead. Now with the DRS, Navy can look to try and close in as they head now towards turn 2. But the field is looking for those battles out there. That was Maze trying to go up the inside of Hustwick there in towards turn 2, but couldn't quite make it stick then. Let's jump on board with this battle for the lead, because here is Siege closing in on Frisch with that DRS. He's having to go round the outside at turn 6. Frisch defends well then into the hairpin. Meanwhile, Navy and Sean battling away. Navy having to go round the outside here. Sean covers it off beautifully there. Beautifully defended from Sean. And Navy stays behind for now, as Hustwick here was trying to close in on Crazy Legs, and he's lost a bit of time out of the hairpin there. But good attacking, good defending from both cars, and Frisch there still leading this one.
Yeah, Navy just running deep there on Sean, and Frisch still leading. Siege right in behind, 3/10 off, of course, the final sector. Not really an overtaking final sector. Navy looking very close to Sean, though, in the meantime. Casper's picked up a 3-second time penalty, and Bishy's gone past Alan K. And that is a clean move. That was for P14 as well. But Navy all over the back of Sean, but they're losing time. It's simple as that. They're losing time. 6 seconds now between second and third.
And this is the problem when you battle out on track. You start to lose ground on the leaders. Meanwhile, the battle for 5th place is involving many cars. You've got Crazy Legs in 5th place there. You've also got Hustwick, Maze, Lyronics and White, with Maximus and Casper looking close there to try and take full advantage of a mistake up ahead. We're still watching Navy try and close in on Sean. We're just going to quickly jump ahead for the battle for the lead, because Frisch is once again under pressure from Siege as we head our way down towards turn 6. Frisch here trying to defend the inside line. Siege is trying to be as brave as possible. Frisch runs deep into turn 6. Surely Siege has got to get the power down, and he does. A mistake from Frisch there hands Siege the lead, and he'll take that with open arms. So Siege now leads the German feature race here in TTL F2, and meanwhile Sean still trying to battle away. In fact, Navy's actually moved ahead at the hairpin, so Navy now in 3rd place, Sean down to 4th, and meanwhile Hustwick still trying to put some pressure on Crazy Legs ahead of him. Meanwhile, Lyronics has got away past Maze, but he runs a little bit wide out of the exit of turn 9 as they make their way through 11. He's able to gather the car up, but Maze, look at this, still trying to put Lyronics under that pressure as we make our way through turn 12. That was White there having a look up the inside, and that's Jeffrey who's retired from this one. White's going to have a try look up the inside, a Sachs curve, up the inside he goes at turn 13, and that's a great move there from White. He's under pressure in this championship. He knows he has to do well on this different strategy. He knows he has to get past cars, and that was a great move from him.
Fantastic move by White. Opportunistic, gains the positions. Casper has spun, and he's coming into the pits, is he? Oh no, that's off track at turn 15. Casper off track at turn 15. He's lost all respective ground. Siege has gone past Frisch, by the way, and Frisch is going to come back at him now down the straight.
Yes, absolutely.
Is
down
he get
towards.
him?
Yeah, it looks like he is with that DRS. He then comes back over to the racing line and retakes the lead of the feature race here at the Hockenheim ring. And Siege just can't quite get the traction down. So it is Frisch who leads once again. Meanwhile, Crazy Legs is holding on to 5th place. He wants a good result here. He pretty much would really, really love a good result at this point. Currently running in 5th place. At the moment, Bishy has just found a way past George then. Has he in towards the hairpin? Yes, he has with that DRS. George wants to have a go back, but he just can't quite find the traction and the grip out of the hairpin. So that is Bishy now up to 12th place. Meanwhile then, lap 7 of this feature race. It's Frisch in the lead ahead of Siege, but they are battling close quarters here. Navy in 3rd, Sean 4th, Crazy Legs in 5th, Hustwick in 6th with Lyronics 7th, White 8th, Maze 9th, Maximus in 10th, Graham in 11th, Bishy 12th, George in 13th, Alan K 14th, Casper in 15th. Jeffrey becomes our first retirement of the feature race here in Germany.
Yeah, honestly not sure what happened to Jeffrey. The yellow flags did come out, but the car was gone within about 20 seconds. I'm not sure what happened with him. Hopefully you'll be able to comment that up in the comment section. However, battle for 5th. Crazy Legs really holding these guys up. Liam Hustwick, Lyronics, White. Mace has just dropped off slightly. I think they're going to wait for the straight. I think we're going to get a lot of action down the straight here.
I think you're right, especially with that DRS. It's just Siege there is not quite close enough to the back of Frisch, but meanwhile Lyronics here using that DRS. Look at the run he's got here. Hustwick has the DRS open. Lyronics also has it. He goes into the slipstream. That was a little bit of contact there between Lyronics and Hustwick. You could see there Lyronics wanted to make the move stick. Hustwick runs deep. And look at that. Where did White come from? He's absolutely taken full advantage of that. Now up to 5th place. Oh, that's the Hustwick off then. Down off the back straight out of turn 6. I think he came together with Crazy Legs there, because Crazy Legs has come off with a little bit of damage there, I think, to that front wing. Actually, it looks all right from this angle now, but Hustwick will be slightly aggrieved at that move. Lyronix knew he was in trouble. He knew he was getting boxed in. He wanted to try and make a move and try and get out of that box situation, but of course there's a car on his right-hand side.
Yeah, fair play to Lyronix though. He did make contact with Liam, but he did let him through straight away, which might have started to cause that Constantino effect. White up the inside though. I didn't even see where he came from. There was just a lovely gap up the inside. It's literally the parting of the Red Sea. White up the inside. He's got all three of them. He's up to 5th place. Fantastic stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Of course, we were riding on board with that Arden car, and then suddenly White just appears from out of nowhere to take all of those positions. 3 positions in one corner for White. He now runs in 5th place. Ever the opportunist.
Yeah, never seen anything like it. 3 moves, 3 positions gained down at the hairpin. I don't think I've ever seen it. Maximus, by the way, is on the back of Maze. Alan Kate just picked up 3 seconds time. Maximus looking to get past here through the Parabolica section, not to be confused with the Italian corner as well, but Maximus has got past easily, and he's up to P7.
Yeah, good move from Maximus, but Lyronix there runs deep at the hairpin there. A little bit too deep for his liking, and he's lost a lot of time on White there. Let's have a look at this battle between Bishy and Graham. It looks like Bishy made the move stick, but Graham wants another piece down into the hairpin.
Afri, I think, has had a moment. He's lost the lead.
He has lost the lead. Yeah, he's down to 2nd now 1.4 behind. That happened.
He's lost 2 seconds.
It's of course off camera. See if there's any damage to that front wing. Of course, much simpler aero here in these F2 cars than in the F1 cars, but it looks okay for now. But yeah, as you say, must have had a moment somewhere, because it's very rare to have, well, you lose that much time. But yeah, Siege retakes the lead then.
Yeah, I have a feeling what's happened there. He's probably got caught on the outside curve at turn 11. The car's gone in for a bit of a half spin. He's lost control. And now he does not feel confident, because he is now starting to lose time to Siege. Maybe Siege is running better tyres? Who knows?
Well, of course, when you have a spin, these tyres really do heat up. And once they've heated up like that, you know, you're talking about 110 maybe, they're really difficult to cool down. So that's going to be the problem for Frisch now, is cooling down those tyres again to that optimum range, and that might take a couple of laps.
Yeah, 2.2 seconds off. He's trying to gain the time back up the Siege. Very quick driver, but has those tyres starting to let go? There's not really much happening out on track. Everything's just spread out quite evenly now.
Yeah, we had a hectic opening 9 laps, that's for sure. But the closest battle we have so far is the battle for 14th. Alan Kay and Casper. Casper's really been struggling in this race so far, but as we head now down towards turn 6, he's just got to keep his head up high. We've had instances before in these races. We could easily have one again, and you never know, the safety car could come up and change the whole race. We haven't had one this season so far, so it is just waiting and lurking around the corner. You never know when Bert Mylander is going to be deployed here.
Oh, Alan Kay just locking up going into turn 8. Change of position. Oh, Navy spun.
Navy is off. Just after the chicane there at 14 and 15. And he rejoins the track then. Looks like the car's okay. Or whether he sputtered, because there was no one around him, so he must have just dropped it by himself.
Yeah, he must have dropped it on the curb. Again, similar to what I said about Afria, probably half spin from Navy. He's lost. What was that? 4 positions? I think he's lost 5 positions.
Yeah, because he was running in 4th place. Yeah, because he was running behind Sean at the time. What that means is it puts White up to 4th place. I mean, this race is all falling into plan for White at the moment. Running in 4th place on those medium tyres. As it stands, he's around about 12 seconds back from Siege. So at the moment, things are looking good for White.
Yeah, looking very good for White. And of course, Lyronix on the same strategy. He's only 1.6 seconds behind him. He's in 5th. He's had a bit of a rough old time. He dropped down to 10th early on in the race as well. But he's now starting to make his way back up the field, and the pace is starting to increase on him. Looking further down the field, Liam, probably one of the big losers after that contact. He's down in 10th. Not really gaining time on Crazy Legs either.
Yeah, well, the Carlin team will be very, very happy right now. They've got cars leading the race 1 and 2. So they'll be... Oh, sorry, it's the Carlin car of Siege and the Trident of Frisch. You see, it's going to take a while for me. They do look similar, though. They do look similar. I went in there full guns blazing. I'm like, oh, I've got this. No, I don't. I don't got this.
Dear me. White getting close though. 8 times of a second. Sean beginning to possibly lose a little bit as Navy is in. That's early.
Could be something to do with either damage or those tyres. Of course, if you have a half spin like that, especially on those sticky super soft tyres, they can wear away very, very easily. So let's see what happens with Navy. Was running in 4th place, had that spin. Now he's down to 9th place. Looks like it's just a tyre change from the crew here. And of course, you're limited to only 6 members of the crew who can work on the car, 4 on the tyres, and that's it. You can then have the Lollipop Man and someone else to just lift up the jack, but that's it. That's all you can have. So it's very, very... meanwhile, I'm just going to interrupt myself here because White's trying to go around the outside at turn 8. And Sean's having to defend here. It'll give him the inside line for turns 10 and 11. He's going to go up the inside. No, Sean just about holds it around the outside on those super soft tyres. And White here is looking for a move in towards turn 12. Doesn't quite find it. Sean running deep though. He's not got the great exit and not a great entry in towards the Sachs curve. He's still got the inside line though, so he is able to get his own apex and just hold it there. But Sean is under huge pressure now as we head towards the final 2 corners.
Under huge amounts of pressure. Different lines being taken as well. White just seems a lot more confident going through the corners. Are we going to see an overtake here? Surely not around the outside of turn 1. No way. Is he going to go all the way around the outside? White, Sean just forcing him off track slightly, but it's going to give him the run out, Navy. Sorry, White down the inside of Sean now, and White is going to get him. Surely on the run down towards turn 2. Sean trying to hold it around the outside. Not quite, still side by side, but White's got him, I think. He has. White's got him. He's up the 3rd. Great move.
Yeah, he's got him there, but this time Sean will have the DRS on White then as we head down towards turn 6. This one isn't over. You've got Lyronix behind as well, looking to try and take advantage. Will Sean try and move up the inside? He'll certainly try the different line, but realises he can't quite do enough and goes back to the racing line. So White then holds 3rd place and gains it. Lyronix, meanwhile, has a run here down towards turn 7, up the inside of Sean here. Sean having to run wide. He'll have the inside line though for turn 8 if he can brake late enough. And the car of Sean here looking to just stay in touch as he's now round the outside of turn 10, 11 by Lyronix in the Arden car. Had the inside line, has the better tyres in terms of durability and is able to hold on there. So Lyronix now up to 4th with Sean in the Campos car down to 5th place now, and that might be time for those tyres to be changed. Race leader Siege into the pits to change onto the different tyres. Now this tells me it's going to be a medium tyre, and Afro Frisch gets a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Now that cannot be served at this pit stop. If he makes another stop, it'll be served there. If not, the end of the race. Of course, there you can see 7 people around the car, 2 Jackmen, 4 tyres and 1 Lollipop Man. That's it. That's all you're allowed to have in the pit lane here in F2. That's why the pit stops are, well, they're a little bit longer, but if you get damage in this car, of course, only 6 people realistically can work on the car at the time, so it is a world of trouble if you get that front wing damage. Meanwhile, George is into the pits then, Sean as well as Maximus, Crazy Legs, Hustwick, Alan Kay into the pits as well. So what that does is then once that race leader has come in, it is White who now picks up the lead of the race. Lyronix is in 2nd, Siege has rejoined in 3rd place, but a little bit of a slow stop from the Carlin boys, because the Triton car of Frisch has now rejoined 1.5 seconds behind, so a little bit of a slower stop maybe for Siege, and it was over 2 seconds when they came into the pit lane, now about 1.5 seconds, and those valuable tenths of a second could come back to haunt the Carlin boys.
Yeah, could come back to haunt them again. Just to pick up on something interesting, I think Maximus has done an undercut here. He has got ahead of Navy and Mez.
Well, it's an overcut. It's an overcut, surely, because Max was now up to 7th place with Navy and Maze. Of course, Navy's put 2 laps on those medium tyres, but Maze has only put 1 lap on. Meanwhile, Bishy has found a way past Alan Kay down towards turn 6, but Bishy's run deep. Alan Kay could have a go back here out of the hairpin, but he takes a compromised line. And look at that, Bishy is now running side by side. He can't quite get the traction down, and Alan Kay retakes that position then as they head through turn 7 on towards turn 8. Bishy is going to have a lunge down the inside at turn 8, locking up the tyres, and this time he does get the move done. Up to 14th he goes.
Yeah, fantastic move. Fishy, I think, just measuring that situation perfectly there. Fantastic move. He's got past Alan Kay, who is still sticking with him. Don't rule this out just yet, but Fishy, I think on fresher tyres, let me just check. Yeah, he's on one lap all fresher tyres. The tyres are going to be obviously warming. Alan Kay now dropping off. Fishy up to P14, and it looks like Navy could be getting closer to Maximus now for 7th.
Yeah, 7/10 is the gap right now. Of course, they will have the DRS as it stands. And they're making their way now down towards turn 6. And you can see Navy's later on the brakes than Maximus. Much more confident on those brakes there. And you can see the brake pads glowing red. How much Navy's using them. But yeah, obviously he's got a higher brake pressure. He's more confident on that brake pedal. And he's closing up to Maximus in the braking zones.
Way more confident into the braking zones, Navy. This is where he is gaining the time. Into the corners, he's gaining the time. Of course, those tyres will have been warming up a lot more compared to Maximus. 1 lap on the medium, well, 2 lap on the mediums, 4 laps now for Navy on the mediums. The Siege sets the new fastest lap. Afri beats him to it though, 26.2 gap. And the net lead is about 1.8 seconds at this stage. White and Lyronics, and of course Casper still to come in.
Yeah, that lead is fluctuating just a little bit because it was 1.5 seconds. Now it's back down to 1.9 after it was about 2 seconds. So a little bit touch and go there from Afri Frisch, but he is setting fastest laps of the race. That's important to him right now. Meanwhile, Navy still closing up on Maximus there. Through turn 1 they go. And Navy's going to have a bit of DRS here up towards turn 2. And he's again braking later than Maximus here through turn 2, and then it's through 3 and 4. Hustwick 3-second time penalty added on to the end of his race. Look at Navy here, who's got a much better line through turn 4, and with this DRS this should be a simple move here from Navy. Up to 7th place he goes. Let's see if Maximus in the ART car can't have a go back down towards turn 6, and no, he doesn't go for it there. He's just hoping that Navy runs deep, and there's the gap there. That could be an opportunity, but no. Navy gets the power down, and he gets away with that one. Looks like he just tried to take a deeper line to maximise the exit out of turn 6, and through 7 and 8 there, Navy gets back up to 7th place.
Yeah, good stuff. Maximus, though, all over the back of him. This is by far not over at all. These two start battling. Mays could get into it as well. Liam's on the back of Crazy Legs further down the field, but I think we have to focus our attentions on Navy and Maximus as they come into the Sachs curve at turn 13. Maximus getting close, but it's not looking close enough for a move here at all. Might just start fluctuating a little bit this.
Lap 17 of 38 then. It is White who leads. Of course, Lyronics and White still have to make their mandatory stop. Siege in 3rd, Frisch in 4th, Casper in 5th, but again, yet to make that mandatory stop. Sean in 6th, Navy in 7th. We're watching Maximus there in 8th place. Mays is in 9th, Grace Legs in 10th. Hustwick in 11th, Graham 12th, George in 13th, Bishy 14th, and Alan Kay is in 15th place. Closest battle out on track right now is this battle we're watching here between Navy and Maximus. Maximus will have the DRS, but look how far Navy is up the road already. Heading through the Parabolica and down towards turn 6. Watch out as well for this battle developing between Crazy Legs and Hustwick here. Let's see, they're heading down the Parabolica now, and Hustwick looks to have the DRS. He does, as we head now down towards turn 6, and that could be a battle that could really spark interest, because both drivers want those points there. And Hustwick much later on the brakes than Crazy Legs. Up to 2nd gear Hustwick goes to try and prioritise the traction out of the corner, and look how close he is now as we head now through turn 7 and then on towards turn 8. Hustwick surely is not going to try a move, and he doesn't, thinks twice about that one. Meanwhile, once again, Maximus still applying the pressure to Navy. Navy runs a little bit deep into turn 12. Maximus wanted to try and take that opportunity as we head towards the Sachs curve. Meanwhile, Hustwick and Crazy Legs there are battling through turn 11, then up towards turn 12, and Hustwick has the move, but look at this, he runs a little bit deep. Crazy Legs is going to run around the outside at Sachs curve. They're going to run side by side, a little bit of lock up there from Hustwick, and he just about holds on to that position. No contact between the two of them, but look at that, Hustwick gets onto the curb, unsettles the car, and Crazy Legs goes straight back through to take back the last point scoring position of this race. These two are going to be battling for a long time, I think. Meanwhile, Maximus couldn't quite take advantage of Navy there in towards the Sachs curve with the little bit of a running wide at turn 12 from Navy. Just couldn't quite get that move stuck. Might have another chance here. Meanwhile, let's rejoin this battle for 10th place between Crazy Legs and Hustwick right now. Hustwick has the DRS. Look at this. He's running whatever the car setup is, he's much more confident in his car here. And Hustwick here, it's going to be going around the outside as we head towards the hairpin here with the DRS, battling with Crazy Legs in towards turn 6. He's got the inside line. Crazy Legs has the outside line. Who's going to get the better traction out of the corner? At this point, it looks like it might be Crazy Legs in the Prima car as we head now towards turn 7. Hustwick here managing to cover off any approach from Crazy Legs there up towards turn 8. And it looks like the Russian time car of Hustwick is now into the points, and Russian time will be holding on and trying to hope that this car can make it to the end in that position, because it will be their first point of the season.
Yeah, they'll be wanting to try and exploit one of the rules, I think, trying to end the race now. Russian points, Russian time obviously getting the points. Maximus, by the way, still fighting Navy, 7th and 8th. It's been, I saw it at about a 10th and a half just a couple of corners ago. Watch out for this, because Maximus looking more confident now than Navy.
Yeah, it looks like with that car, with the DRS, looks a lot more confident now. And maybe Maximus is just one of those drivers who needs something to attack. If there's nothing in front of him, you don't get the full potential. I know I fall into that category, but he's now in the DRS, following Navy behind through Parabolica, and then down towards the hairpin. He looks a bit too far back, but that's I've been proven wrong about that before. Maximus certainly looking for the inside move. Look at that, so much later on the brakes than Navy, looking for a little bit of a switchback here, but just can't quite get that traction down. Meanwhile, Crazy Legs here, looking for a move up the inside of Liam Hustwick, then down towards turn 6. He leaves the braking as late as possible, but outbrakes himself. Hustwick then going up the inside, but Crazy Legs will have the better traction. These two are running side by side. We've got two battles happening at the same time, but Hustwick here defends the inside line in towards turn 7. He's able to hold on right now, and Crazy Legs holds off of it. Oh, Navy's around and off!
Contact!
Bits of carbon fibre everywhere there. Navy into the wall, and what happened there, James?
Navy just moving across onto Maximus's line, slight bit of contact, both of them into the wall. Maximus has came out relatively unscathed out of all of that. Navy in the gravel completely, as we see Hustwick and Crazy Legs still battling out, and so unfortunate. But to be honest, I put that down as a racing incident, what I saw there.
Well, Maximus is into the pits. Of course, there must be damage to that car, but that means Hustwick and Crazy Legs now move up a position. Here is Navy then, and it looks like he's coming into the pits as well. Surely both drivers will now go onto a set of soft tyres, and of course, that crew of 7, it feels excruciatingly long in the pit lane here. Navy now comes into the pits, and let's see what tyres are ready then for Maximus. On go another set of medium tyres for the ART car. And meanwhile, Navy making his way down the pit lane. Now he comes into the pit lane and into his pit box. And again, that front wing change, which feels like an age. On go another set of medium tyres, though, for the MP Motorsport car. Meanwhile, we're going to rejoin this battle between Hustwick and Crazy Legs, because it's now the battle for 8th place. These two are moving up the order. Meanwhile, as well, out on track, Casper, who's yet to stop in this race on old medium tyres, is now under pressure from Sean here as we head towards the Sachs curve, and Sean knows there's not quite a move up the inside, or is there, because Casper's locked up in towards turn 13. Now they're running side by side through 14, then through 15, and Sean's having to go round the outside of turn 16. A little bit of contact between them. Sean here still having to go round the outside through turn 17, and look at that there, Casper trying to make that gap as little as possible. It's worked for now, and Casper holds on to 5th place. Meanwhile, Graham and Bishy here are battling away for position. Bishy now moves up to 10th place and into that point scoring position. Meanwhile then, Sean is looking to have his work cut out to try and get this position. The best chance he has right now is down towards turn 6 with the DRS. Casper here running a little bit wide on exit. Graham and Bishy still battling it out.
Oh, Bishy's
off. Bishy is off just before turn 14 there. We're just going to rejoin this battle here with Sean and Casper as we make our way now down towards turn 6. Sean is around the outside here as Casper tries to hold on. And he'll have those worn tyres there past their sell-by date. He doesn't care though, because he's still running side by side now as Bishy becomes the latest retirement in this race right now. Casper and Sean still running side by side on towards turn 8. Sean has the inside line. Casper trying to make it move around the outside, but he can't quite do it. He doesn't have the grip, and Casper then moves down. Sean up to 5th place. It's been a crazy couple of laps, James.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic racing there by Sean. Bishy, I think, pretty much giving up after his spin, I would imagine there, which is unfortunate for him. Navy has retired as well. Has he given up, or has he crashed? There's no yellow flags on my end.
There's nothing here as well as...
Oh, there is. Yeah, yellow flag, Sector 1, Sector 3, that is.
Let's see where he is. It's along the start-finish straight, so that leads me to believe that it's in the pit lane. So Navy has retired from this one in the pit lane, and that is his day done. Casper gets a 3-second time penalty for that latest corner cut. We saw that live, Casper. You're not getting away with that one. As we head now on towards turn 2, those medium tyres look a bit past their sell-by date for Casper. He keeps locking them up, and once you lock them up once, it's much, much easier to lock them up twice, 3 times. The more you do it, the easier it is to lock them up. But he's not giving up on this battle here with Sean. And he's looking to make Sean's life a little bit harder. He's with DRS up the inside at turn 6. Can he stop the car in time? He's got a really tight line though in through turn 6. Sean trying a little bit of a switchback, but you know what? Casper's made the move stick. He's back up to 5th.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant stuff by Casper. Those tyres, another 21 laps old, but he doesn't care. Oh, he gets caught in the grass slightly on the exit. This is going to prove Sean around the outside here. Sean himself has a bit of a half spin. It's going to be side by side into turn 11 or turn 12. But I think Sean might just have to run here. He's got the inside line. It should be, yeah, done and dusted, kippers and custard. Sean up to 5th.
Sean then through Sachs curve gets the move done once again. And Casper now down to 6th place. And I wonder when White, Lyronix and Casper will all come into the pits. Of course, if they're looking to run those super soft tyres, we've seen them run about... Oh, Casper, big moment there out of the final corner, able to pick up on it and keep the car out of the wall. Meanwhile, though, there's a bit of a battle developing now for what potentially will be the lead of this race. Frisch has really closed up onto the back of Siege here. This is on track for 3rd place, but realistically, this could be the battle for the lead developing right here. Now, the two of these drivers have got to think, do they want to try and battle now, or wait until White and Lyronix come in, put them onto another set of tyres and see what happens? I think Frisch is going for the former, I think, James.
Yeah, I think he's going to have to try and wait it out, to be honest. Siege? Oh, what's happened to Siege? Siege looking very slow. What on earth happened there?
Bit of a moment maybe for Siege there. However, he's still in control of this battle right now for 3rd place. Lap 23 of 38. White leads from Lyronix. Siege in 3rd and Frisch in 4th. But White and Lyronix are yet to make their mandatory stop. So they do have to stop again within this one. But don't go away, because this is going to be a great race to the end. We have 15 laps to go.
Yeah, looking at White and Lyronix at the minute, it looks like it could be a 3-way battle for 3rd, potentially, when they decide to come into the pits. White and Lyronix. Siege, Afri obviously closing in, and Afri looking very close here to the back of Siege. This potentially could be a race-winning move here that we could see the German on the brake, and he's going to go all the way around the outside. I think he's going to have him before the hairpin's even there, and he is. Afri is past, he is through, and he's up to P3, and no debate there by Siege, just decided to let him through, and he's going to come back then possibly this lap around. But Afri's up, and he's up to 3rd, into the net lead as well.
Yeah, absolutely. With those 15 laps to go, we got yellow flags up ahead. Now, what could that be? I wonder.
Alan Kay, I think.
Yes, that is Alan Kay just getting out of the way. Down in 13th place right now, but he's still running in there. He's had 3 retirements, or 2 in the last couple of laps, so he's probably thinking there's a point in staying in this race. There could be points on offer, and Casper on those 23 lap old medium tyres is still trying to make this battle with Sean work. 13 laps is the age difference between those 2 tyres, and gotta be honest with you, Casper's making these tyres work, but that's another lock-up into turn 8. That's not going to help his tyres whatsoever.
Yeah, tyres actually not looking like they're blistering too much, but he's going to have to come into the pits. After he sets a new fastest lap, 25.2 I should say. It's really not the other way around. I thought it was a 152 as Casper is now starting to let go of the tyres. He's just ran deep into the gravel on the left-hand side, just run a little bit too deep there over the curb, and he's into the gravel. Surely he's got to come into the pits. He's really struggling now.
He's
going out for another one.
Staying out, he's got to drive those tyres to make this strategy work, so they may be starting to go off, but he wants those super soft tyres to the end. That's what he's aiming for, and we've already seen drivers do around about 12-13 laps on those tyres, so that's what he'll be aiming for. We should expect to see those medium tyres come in any moment now. Let's see what White does, but yeah, leading this race now, started in 9th place on those medium tyres, qualified on them. Let's see what the race leader will do. Of course, looking to try and fight for the TTL F2 championship as he makes his way now on towards the Sachs curve and through that grandstand there. Now on his way now through 14 and 15. There is Lyronix in the Arden car. Just about 3.6 seconds back, and White comes into the pits. So this is it then.
Oh, he's taking it too quick!
Goodness me, that was so close to the wall there. White losing valuable time. A little bit of a heart rate went up there. I think for me in the commentary box as well. But that means Frisch does take the lead with 13 laps to go. And on will go a set of super soft tyres for White here. And the team get the job done, and away he goes. So where will he rejoin? He should rejoin comfortably in front of Sean, and it should be in third place. It looks like Sean is making his way through
to be out in fourth as well.
Yeah, it should be, because Sean's making his way around the final corner now as White makes his way out of the pit lane exit and into third place he goes. Now we'll have to see what those gaps are between the leaders. It's around 19.4 seconds right now. So, well, we've got to see what happens here. 13 laps to go, 19 seconds. That's well, that's telling me 1.5 seconds a lap. That's to have a chance of having this battle with the race lead. Now, in theory, yes, you can make those tyres work. Yes, you can close 1.5 seconds difference between the mediums and the super softs. However, there's a certain point where the super soft tyres are at the same wear as the medium tyres. They wear quicker. So, well, that's the thing. That's the balance you've got to have. You've got to drive to that delta. Meanwhile, Maximus here in 11th place. Obviously had that incident with Navy earlier on in this race. He's looking now to try and grab some valuable points, and makes his way through turn 1. Graham runs deep into turn 1, but Maximus picks up a 3-second time penalty. Here he is with the DRS on towards turn 2. He goes, massive speed difference there, but Maximus here goes up the inside at turn 2. Look at that though. That is Graham trying to stick around the outside. He now puts Maximus on the outside for turns 3 and 4. Who of them has the DRS? Neither of them do. They cross the detection point at exactly the same time, so neither of them have the DRS as we head now down towards turn 6. It's still side by side, this battle for the final point of this race. Maximus is up the inside, Graham on the outside, and Maximus parks it on the apex. No way for Graham to get through, and Maximus takes 10th place away from Graham there.
Yeah, more grip in the tyres as well. 7-lap fresher tyres Maximus has got on S-Graham. By the way, Casper has gone through on Crazy Legs. He came out just in behind him. He was 2/10 off him coming out the pits. Casper is through though, and he's up to P8 as well and beginning to gain the time. 1.5 seconds a lap seems on. White has closed 1.5 seconds at last lap.
Well, it's not even completed the lap yet, but or his second lap anyway. It is already closing that gap to what will be an achievable time, but it's got to be careful of that tyre wear. It's all well and good trying to close the gap, but you've got to really look after the tyres and make sure you don't take too much out of them. Battle for the lead here developing with just over 11 laps to go. It will be 11 laps to go when Frisch crosses the line to start lap 28 of this German feature race here in the Hockenheim ring. And there he is, Frisch will start the 28th lap in the lead. 11 laps to go here. And Frisch there, 25.5 he set on that lap. That's 0.2 slower than his personal best so far.
Yeah, interesting. He has got that gap out for a second. Siege not going to be within DRS, I don't think. Coming across the line and behind. White sets the new fastest lap, 23.8. He absolutely obliterates the fastest lap of the race. 15.9 seconds. I make that 3 seconds closed down within 2 laps. It could be on.
It could be on. It really could be on. Let's see what happens here. What would really help White and Lyronix is if Frisch and Siege start to battle. That would really help them out a treat. Yeah. But at the moment, Frisch has this under control and is looking to just try and build a gap here as he makes his way towards turn 8. Don't forget, you can follow this league on Twitter. It's at TTL_F2. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel. Hit the notification bell so you're notified every time TTTV goes live. We're actually going live tomorrow for the Esports Mini League. You can catch me in the commentary box for League 1 at 8:30 and 9:15 UK time in the evening at Austria and Britain. You can also catch James earlier on in the day, 7 and 7:45 in the evening, BST, Italy and Germany.
Yep, you can. Casper's right on the back of Liam Husbeck, by the way, running down towards the hairpin. It should be job done down the inside for Casper. The Finn going down the inside of the Brits. Fresher tyres. cleaner air. Casper's through and he's up to P7. Easy stuff.
Yeah, good move from Casper then, and Husvik moves down to 8th place, but the Russian time team will be hoping that that car makes it to the end of the race. They want points, and 2 points at this moment in time, 4 points actually, is better than none at all, so they'll just be wanting that car to get home. That's all they'll be saying to Husvik. Get that car home, let's score some points and get something on the board as we make our way with Frisch down towards turn 6. Well, if you like our commentary, why not follow us on Twitter? My one, at KSMCG F1. James, your odd one.
At B52 head, yeah, very odd one. Not as odd as KSMCG, whatever it is, your Twitter handle. Goodness me.
Well, someone did ask me why my one sounded so robotic, and I was like, well, if I have to spell Kieran every time, so it just makes sense to make one I have to spell. There's a battle between Maximus and Crazy Legs happening.
Got him.
And Maximus gets it done through the Sachs curve. But is there damage? There is damage to Crazy Legs' car. Was that involved with Maximus there?
No, I think he's clipped the white. He's ticking the white line. Coming into the pits. Oh, he's crashing the pits!
No, I don't believe it! Crazy Legs out of this race in the pit lane. Took the gravel truck. And that is a front tyre that is just collapsed under the weight of that collision. And Crazy Legs is out of this race just to add salt into those already fresh wounds. And he becomes the 4th retirement of this race. I was saying he needed a good result. He wanted that good result, but it's not going to come today. White, 3-second time penalty. How crucial will that be in the battle? And this is the point now, James, with 9 laps to go, where we really do have to look at those penalties and see what those on-track battles are actually going to be.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at now. Of course, Afri, remember, has got his 5-second time penalty to be added on after speeding in the pit lane. He's also got a 3-second time penalty. Siege has got nothing. He's only got 1 warning. And White has only got a 3-second time penalty. So it's looking like Siege could take this at this stage, but White is putting up.
Lyronics there. Wanted to try around the outside of Maze at the final corner. That is not an overtaking place, and Caspi quickly realised that as he was on the green stuff. Really, really late decision there for Casper to back out, but good thing that he backed out that he did, because Maze shut the door and there was going to be no way through anyway. But he's got a better chance here, better grip on those tyres as well with the DRS. Casper now with that DRS on the inside of Parabolica, making his way now down towards turn 6. I don't think Maze is going to put up too much of a battle here. 2-stage tyre difference. Casper on the super softs, Maze on the mediums, and Casper actually runs deep in towards the hairpin there, but I think that's just to get a better traction out of the corner, and it is, and he's away. Up to 6th place he goes. The next car ahead is Sean, who's 16 seconds up the road. I think that's a bit of a tall order there for Casper.
Yeah, massive order for him. However, still looking for that battle. the 1st, 2nd and 3rd, White, I'm just calculating in my head here, he's closing up by an average of 1.6, 1.7 seconds, I think, per lap. So just take that into consideration. He's going to be right on top of them come the end. Be interesting to see how that develops.
Yeah, well, what we've got to see as well is this battle for the fastest lap of the race. Of course, you get 1 point in this league for the fastest lap as long as you finish in the top 10. So it's all well and good setting a fast lap of the race, but you've got to finish in the top 10 as well. George is into the pits from 12th place. He was in the pits for quite a while. I wonder if that's a front wing change. He's going to rejoin on a new set of medium tyres. I don't think he's interested in that fast lap. I think that was a bit of damage repair there. He's actually touched the wall on the exit, and all that hard work from the team there, from the Carlin team, may have all just been undone in that pit lane exit. However, the car looks like it's got all 4 wheels on, so I'll just be saying to George, now get to the end with 7 laps to go.
Yeah, getting to the end indeed. Just coming on to the point about the fastest lap. Looking at the fastest lap statistics at the minute, White is the only one in a 23 at the minute, and he's about 5 tenths ahead of Casper in terms of the fastest lap. I don't think that's going to be beaten in this race.
Well, White on the 23.8, Lyronics on the 23.9, and of course they're the only 2 in those 23s. Casper, there is a possibility he has been battling the last couple of laps, but he won't get it that time, as he's got a 3-second time penalty, so that lap time becomes invalidated with 7 laps to go. 6 and a bit if you're picky. We have Frisch, who is leading this one by just over 2 seconds ahead of Siege. It is White in 3rd place, Vironix there is running in fourth. Sean, once again, in one of those races of his own. He seems to get these quite a lot, James.
Yeah, he does. He's in fifth, bless him. He's getting closed down by Casper slowly as well. I don't think that gap's going to be reachable by the end of the race at all. But interestingly, Liam beginning to catch Mays, 7th and 8th. That's beginning to hot up a little bit.
Yeah, the Russian time team really want a good result here in Germany. This is their best chance so far with Hustwick up in 8th place. And now there's a chance to grab even more points. There's a chance to get up to 7th place. Well, it was a bit of crunch time for Hustwick about 10-15 laps ago when he was battling away for that last point with Crazy Legs. Now it looks comfortable in 8th place. But I don't think he's going to settle for that one if he's catching Mays. Look at this now, 7/10 of a second. This is DRS territory now.
Yeah, looking good for Liam Hustwick at this stage. He's closing in on Mays, not close enough down into turn 8. Locks up the front. He's getting close though, he means business, he's closing in. Russian time finally going to be breaking that duck of nil points. It's a shame that the UK can't break that in Eurovision.
Sometimes you do these streams, you do these commentaries, you never know what to expect. I wasn't expecting that. I've got nothing prepared for that one, James.
Also interestingly, further up the field, White has now got that gap down to under 9 seconds. Under 9 seconds, but the laps are ticking away. It's beginning to come increasingly likely he's not going to get them before the end.
And this is what I was talking about. It's all well and good having that alternate strategy where you go onto the medium tyres and then switch to the super softs. The only problem is the tyre wear towards the end. Yes, the cars are lighter, but there is still that tyre difference, that tyre wear difference. And it might just be starting to bite at White right now as he heads through 14 and 15, then through those final two corners of 16 and 17. Hustwick, meanwhile, with the DRS, couldn't quite take advantage there down towards turn 6 with the DRS. But he's not going to give up on this one with 5 laps to go.
Yeah, he won't give up at all. Just looking at the... I was just taking a very look at that. If I can get my words out. I was just taking an interest actually in Siege and White. Their last lap times, White about 9/10 quicker than Siege. And that's average per lap, so goodness knows we'll be ending up in 5 laps time. But yeah, coming back onto Mays and Hustwick, coming through turns 11 and 12. This is getting closer, but Hustwick's not close enough. Don't think he's going to commit that move until probably the straight.
Yeah, I think that's the smart idea. That's the way to do it. And if Hustwick knows this track, he'll know the best overtaking opportunity is down into the hairpin at turn 6. And that's probably what he'll be setting up the move for. In towards turn 1 we go with those 5 laps to go. Hustwick just wants to get those points. The team want him to get those points too. The only thing is Hustwick is ready to try and grab even more points for them here in Germany. And to be honest with you, with the pace he's on, I don't blame him either. That's a little bit of a messy exit out of turn 4. We'll have the DRS though to make up for that. Now closing into the slipstream of Mays up ahead. He's closing very quickly, in fact, up towards turn 6. Will he go for a move up the inside? No, he won't. He thought about it. You could see him thinking about it. Should I go for it? Should I not? And in the end, he decided no, not close enough. Not yet, but he's closing and closing every lap to the back of that Mays car, the Dan's car, as we head now towards turn 8.
He certainly looks like he's got the hunger to get the move done. Whether he's close enough to get the move done is a different question. There is a yellow flag in Sector 2 that I've just picked up on, and it's George letting everyone through, letting the leaders through, that is.
That's interesting. That's interesting. I'm not getting those yellow flags on my screen whatsoever, so I'm relying on you.
Press start and then, yeah, press start and then just remove it. It should fix itself.
Well, we'll see. I don't think the spectators
don't trust them.
Yeah, I don't think the guys watching would really want to see a start menu. I've got to be honest with you. However, 35 laps we are on now out of 38. And we're still seeing if Hustwick can find a way past Mays. And through that final sector is where Hustwick seems to be losing all of that time. Mays seems to have the advantage. Maybe it's the aero working on that Dam's car ahead compared to the Russian time car of Hustwick. Now in towards the DRS zone we go once again. There's got to be a thought in the back of Hustwick's mind. One of frustration, I think. It might be a move that might just be like, you know what? why not? As he makes his way down towards turn 6, he's going to go for it this time, down the inside at the hairpin. He'll have a tighter line than Mays. He locks up a little bit. Mays will have the advantage on the exit there, and you can see that traction working away. And now Hustwick has to cope with 8th place once again. They head through turn 7. Will he have another go up the inside at turn 8? No. But he's looking hungrier and hungrier every lap. But he's got to be aware of that air of frustration and desperation. Does he want this 7th place? Does he need it very badly? Oh, getting a big moment there out of turn 11. Too much curb there, unsettling the car. But yeah, there's the difference here. Do the Russian time team come over the radio and say, look, we're happy with 8. We're happy with points. There's no need for this. I think Hustwick's just going to ignore them.
Yeah, he has to ignore them. He's really close to the back of Mays here. And I mean, he's quicker through the first sector, especially on that straight. He's got a very good straight line speed set up on that car. With 3 laps to go, he has got to go for this. He has got to go for this. The laps are starting to run out. Liam, if you are listening, go for it, mate. Go for it.
TTL F2 brought to you by our definitely unbiased commentary team. Hustwick here making his way through turn 2, now through turns 3 and 4. Look at that, he gets a better line through there. This might be it. He's got the DRS open now in the slipstream of Mays as we make our way through Parabolica. This time he's going to be side by side with him before turn 6.
Easy.
And looking now towards the braking zone of turn 6 now. He's ahead right now, and Mays trying to go around the outside, trying to get that traction down. This time the advantage goes to Hustwick. Mays loses the back end. Loses that back end at the crucial moment, and Hustwick moves up to 7th place on lap 37. He left it late, but he's got the move done, and up to 7th he goes.
Maybe that lap pressure tyres is starting to work in his favour, probably working at a slightly better temperature compared to Mays, but he is through, and that hunger, I think the commentator actually did something right there, apart from trying to ruin somebody's race. But Liam is through, he's up to P7, so good stuff. Interestingly, for second, I thought I saw Liveronics off for a minute there, no. Second, the battle between the lead, Afri and Siege, 5.1 seconds. I think Siege must have made a mistake earlier on, about 5 laps ago. I think he made a mistake.
Yeah, because at the moment then, with that 5-second time penalty added on to Frisch's time, because of course he did speed in the pit lane, and that is 5 seconds that's added on to the end of his race. At the moment then, as it stands, he's surely going to win this one as we head on towards the final lap of the race. I said about TTL and debuts and how good they can be, and Frisch is proving that theory to be absolutely spot on. He heads now on towards the final lap of this race, heading now up towards turn 2, and let's see what those penalties are going to be like, how it's going to shake everything up. White then gets another 3-second time penalty. That could cost him a podium. You never know. As Frisch now makes his way through Parabolica. We saw that battle between him and Siege at the start. He got a better start than Siege, took the lead, and it has been battling between Siege ever since. He lost out in that first part of the stint. About 2 seconds was the gap. He's now made that up and more in this second stint as he makes his way now towards turn 7. And I've got to say, the Trident team will be really happy with this one. This is the points boost they needed at this moment in time. 9th in the team's championship. And this will be a great start for Frisch if he can make it to that start-finish line. Through turn 11 he goes. And now on towards turn 12 with the Trident car. Look at that. He's 5,000ths of a second off his personal best time. He's really going for it on this lap. He knows the more that gap is to the car behind, the better, as he makes his way through the Sachs curve. Now on towards turns 14 and 15 in front of his home fans. Now towards the final couple of corners. His first race in TTL F2, and it looks like he secured the race win. Frisch makes his way towards the start-finish line, crosses the line, and takes the checkered flag. Let's see if Siege here can steal that first place spot. He can! Siege then wins the German race, the feature race here in TTL F2. Frisch loses out by 2.2 seconds, denied a debut victory. White then finishes in third, with Lyronics finishing across the line in fourth. Maximus, a lap down, finishes in 9th place. So it's good points for him after what has been a tough race. Sean making his way now through turn 12 and then on towards turn 13 here. Again, a bit of a race of his own, 39 seconds behind the car ahead. And Casper, 6th place. Again, another tough race for him. But he's looking to try and finish that race in 6th place. But Sean making his way around the final couple of corners and will take 5th place in this race. and I think he'll take that there. Casper, 6th place across the line, and with those penalties, he actually falls 15 seconds behind Sean after all those penalties have come over the line. White at the moment will get the fastest lap point, but for Hustwick and for Russian Time, first points of the season for the team. And Hustwick there will be very happy with that though. But the winner of the F2 feature race here in TTL, Siege, gets another win in Germany.
Yeah, fantastic stuff from Siege. Afri unlucky with that 5-second stop go in the end. Podium celebrations now happening.
Yeah, absolutely. This is Siege's 4th race win of the season. And he'll be very, very happy with that one. Extending his lead over White by another 10 points, I believe that was. So he'll be very happy with that one as we head towards and past the halfway stage in this season. And Siege looks like he's in control of this one. And of course, our next race will be our Spa Day in Belgium next week. But there is your top 3, and very soon we will have the official, unofficial results here for the TTL F2 feature race here in Germany. It is Siege who finishes on top, Frisch in 2nd, White 3rd, Lyronix there in 4th, Sean in 5th, with Casper in 6th, Mays in 7th, Hustwick down to 8th with those penalties, but it's still first points of the season for Russian Time, Maximus in 9th, and Graham grabbing the last point there in 10th place, Alan Kay in 11th, George in 12th, retirements, Crazy Legs, Navy, Bishy and Jeffrey all did not make it to the checker flag, which of course White there with that fastest lap point is 1 point rather than the 2 points it's showing there. It is just 1 point, so that gap now is 9 points ahead of this race. I'm losing my mind, James, I have to say. But what that means in the championship now is that well, Siege extends his advantage now to 29 points heading into round number 7, which of course will be at the Belgian Grand Prix. James, hectic first few laps, hectic last few laps, and a little bit of drama in between. I've got to say, that was a pretty good feature race. Very
enjoyable race indeed. Racing going on up and down the field, battles going on up and down the field. It's absolutely fantastic to watch. And as you say, Siege has pulled that gap out to 29 points. It's going to be 129 to 101. My quick maths coming in handy there, I think. And then in 3rd, I think it's going to be Sean, if I'm not mistaken. I think Sean's going to be in 3rd in the championship. I might be completely wrong, but
as it stands then, that is the case. Of course, we do have those unofficial results, the official, unofficial results, I should say. So, of course, those are subject to change. But I think for Hustwick and Russian Time, finally they've got some points on the board. Maybe too little too late from the Russian Time team to have a chance of scoring some real points to get that mid-table finish that they maybe aim for now. But never say never in a league like this.
Yeah, the thing is with Hustwick, I think he's put on a very good performance here tonight. He's finished 8th in the end. That 3-second time penalty, you never know, might get taken off. You never know. He could be finishing in 7th. If that will give him the confidence, that will give him the boost that he needs to go forward and possibly score even higher in the next coming races. Of course, we go to Belgium, is it, next week?
It is indeed.
Sure?
Our Spa Day, James.
Spa Day, oh, I've been having quite a few of them recently, but there you go. Different Spa Day, this one.
Absolutely, and we hope you can join us next week here in TTL F2. Make sure you do follow the league on Twitter. It's at TTL_F2. Make sure you are subscribed to TTTV. Hit that notification bell so you're notified every time the channel goes live. Next time it will go live will be tomorrow night for the Esports Mini League. You can join both James and I. James for League 2, myself for League 1. Make sure you're following at TTGaming Esports for all of the latest news on that one. That all will be revealed tomorrow about the timings, commentary teams with you that night, and when it all kicks off. It will kick off with League 2 at 7 PM BST, and you can join us for that one. You can also follow me on Twitter if you really want to. It's at KSMCGF1, and you can also follow James on Twitter.
Yeah, follow me on Twitter at B52Head if you do want to have a bit of James Bond action on there. The new film has been released. The new title, anyways, has been released. And just to pick up on something that Mini League tomorrow. Yes, I'm going to be live at 7 o'clock. I'm going to be joined by Alan Kay in the commentary box. Alan Kay will be joining me in the commentary box, adding his experience and expertise in the commentary box for Mini League. And I'd just like to wish everyone, including TTG Academy in particular, because I'm not biased towards them at all, with me being an academy manager. I'd like to wish every team across both mini leagues good luck, because I think it's going to be hell of a league that's going to be put on, both leagues. Yeah, I'm just babbling on a bit.
Nothing wrong with babbling on a bit, as long as you know what you're talking about, James. Anyway, thank you so much for joining us for this stream. We hope to see you tomorrow night for the TTG Esports Mini League, and I hope you can join us then. Until then, I've been Kieran McGinley.
And I've been James Howard.
Take care of yourselves, and we will see you next time.